Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachahakwadash. Double honors due to the apostles, the bishops, and elders of Great Millstone who rule well in peace, blessings, and safety to the Lord's elect. This is the brother Yeshaya, and this video right here is going to be kind of a response, but I'm going to hit another aspect of what the elder that you see on the screen was going into. Okay, his lesson was you slam my cat. It's like you slam my cat, now slam your PS5. A little demon is still a demon. And I'm halfway through this video, but the spirit hopped on me to throw my little 2 cents in, skillfully adding just to aspect of animals. Okay, now growing up as a Jake in the South, I've always growing up, my spirit has always had a liking to animals. Uh, I've always loved animals, man. I have pictures of on field trips holding crabs, and I never was scared of animals. I was always the ones to very interested in them. I remember when I was little, before, and I remember this verbatim, vividly. I don't know if I was like 4 or 5 or maybe 6 at the most, but it had to be around there. I stuck my hand because I was interested in ants, and I was at my grandma's house when we was staying in the country, and I stuck my hand in the ant pile. All right, and I was playing with the ants, and I loved how they moved around and everything like that. And I was playing with them, and then I got 1 bite, then I got 3 bites, then I got 10 bites, and that's how I learned my lesson. Okay, you can't really handle every animal. But anyway, I've always been an animal lover. I had hamsters growing up, fish, dogs, of course. I never was really a cat person, but I like cats for their duty. Okay, warding off mice and rats and things like that. But the personalities of cats, that doesn't deal with me. I mean, that doesn't they don't gel with me. I still love them and appreciate them for what they are, but I'm a dog person. But anyway, not to go too far off subject. You have to really, love the animals and appreciate the animals because Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, he created them and he put them there, and they have spirits, man. Okay, now I have a Rottweiler right now, 120, 130 pound Rottweiler, and when I tell you that, I can look at my dog, and like I can tell when he's sad, I can tell when he's excited. It's like another person, man, like an extension of your family, you know. And even when I'm gonna get into the scriptures later, but just just a little rant. My half brother that I grew up with in the house, he was like a Dennis the Menace type kid, you know. And I saw him. We had a dog because we always used to try to dogs that that people were giving to us, or free dogs or stray dogs. We would always try to keep them. And one time they let us keep one of the dogs. I forgot his name. It was Lucky. Yeah, his name was Lucky. I don't know if I had a step pop. I don't know if he brought it off the road with him because he used to drive trucks. But yeah, I think he brought it off the road with him because he brought another dog one time. It was a pit bull and border collie mix, and it bit the shit out of me, man. I'm talking about fucked me up. Anyway, yeah. So with this said dog Lucky, I seen I happened to look on the back porch. Something just told me to look on the back porch, and I saw my so-called little half brother beating this dog with like a bottle of Mountain Dew, and he was just hitting it. I'm like, man, what the fuck are you doing? And it turned out later that that dog started. It was a puppy, and he was running into fences. I mean, he was running into walls, and then we later took him to the vet and found out that he was blind. That made me mad, and I fucked my little brother up for that, man. Well, my half brother, because he's a demon as well. But anyway, all right, so get into the scriptures. I'm done with that tangent, but a beautiful video. I'm gonna finish this up, but the spirit just jumped on me to hit this video another way, so I'm gonna go ahead and do it. So let's go into the book of Psalms, and I'm gonna focus on the animal aspect. Okay, Psalms 50 and verse 8. I'm gonna read it in the NLT. I have no complaint, Slakia. Let's go to 7. Oh, my people, listen as I speak. Shemai, as I speak. Here are my charges against you, O Israel. I am Yahweh, your power. I have no complaint about your sacrifices or the burnt offerings you constantly offer. But I do not need the bulls from your barns or the goats from your pens. For all the animals of the forest are mine, and I own the cattle on 1,000 hills. So you got to look at these animals, okay, as an extension of Yahweh, Yahweh Shah, because it's this beautiful creation. And when you look at animals and basically how they're set up, they have a form of spiritual power. Animals with their certain senses. You got animals that can smell. You got animals that can smell 3 miles away. Can pick up a smell from 3 miles away. Salakia. Hey, hey, chill out, chill out. All right. See, that was my beast right there, man. You know. But anyway, yeah, you have to. Salakia. You have to treat animals with a certain, respect. All right, because they're Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah's creations, man. They were here for us pretty much to be pleasant to us, to help us out, to be entertainment for us, man. For our food, the kosher ones, of course. All right, so animals are very advantageous to the earth, man. Very conducive to the earth. All right. Uh, Verse 10, for all the animals of the forest are mine, and I own the cattle on 1,000 hills. I know every bird on the mountains, and all the animals of the field are mine. So there you go. That's going into something else, but I just wanted to pinpoint that hey, these animals are Yahweh Bashim Yahweh's creation, man. Okay. So, scriptures say that a righteous man regardeth the life of his beast, right? Because you got certain beasts, especially, um, back in the ancient days that we used to basically animals don't depreciate. All right, animals, like oxen, goats, cows, chickens, they're a part of your income. They're a part of your revenue. All right, and the better you treat them, the more you get out of them. That's why the Lord talks about not eating things strangled with blood, right? Because certain animals, when you pretty much when you strangle an animal, it releases a chemical, a stress chemical, okay, that's toxic to us because of the way that they were um, killed. Okay, the manner that they were killed, they were stressed out, and it releases a sort of hormone, okay, which makes the meat sort of toxic. Okay, so that's why the best way to kill an animal is either by surprise or just slit their neck and let them bleed out. Instead of strangulation. But hey, that's Eve for you. Doesn't know how to run the world right, right? Proverbs 12:10. A righteous man regardeth the life of his beast, but the tender mercies of the wicked are cruel. All right, the godly care for their animals, but the wicked are always cruel. So, you can see certain things, and of course, like the elder was going into, yeah, we did certain things, before we were privy, before we, were raised up. But even before we got into this truth, basically growing out of that, you have a certain respect for the animals, just growing up and being an adult. Okay, yeah, like the elder was going into, man. I'm not proud of it, but we used to, we used to catch a little fish, like because we used to fish all the time. We used to catch the little ones, and then instead of putting them and releasing them back, we would kick them back into the pond and call them punts or field goals. Just wicked shit, man. We used to take empty 2 liter bottles, and we had a lot of honeybees, bumblebees around the way, and we would just hit them. We would just hit them like we were playing baseball, man, not knowing that was doing damage to the ecosystem. But just Jake doing stupid shit. We was raised in stress, and sometimes Jake just got to destroy something because of this environment that we're in, man. But anyway, we're like caged animals. All right, no pun intended. All right, so Proverbs 12:10, once again, a righteous man regardeth the life of his beast, but the tender mercies of the wicked are cruel. And I'm going to go into this account right here because this account is very, it always stuck with me, man. Okay, this is the account, if I can find it. Yeah, this is the account of the donkey, all right, that was getting abused from his by his owner, and the Lord put it in his mouth to speak. But these animals, they do have feelings and they do have emotions, man. Especially higher breed animals like dogs and cattle and things like that. These animals really you got to watch how you treat them, man, because that's ultimately how you treat the Lord's creation. Numbers 22 and 21. And Balaam rose up in the morning and saddled his ass, a donkey, and went with the princes of Moab. And Yahweh Bashem Yahushua's anger was kindled because he went, and the angel of the Lord stood in the way for an adversary against him. Now he was riding upon his ass, and his two servants were with him. And the ass saw the angel of the Lord standing in the way, and his sword drawn in his hand. Slakia. And here it is, this dog. I guess the wolf instinct comes out of it because every time he hears an ambulance or something, he howls. But it's pretty cool. And the ass saw the angel of the Lord standing in the way, and his sword drawn in his hand. And the ass turned aside out of the way and went into the field. And Balaam smote the ass to turn her into the way. But the angel of the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, stood in a path of the vineyards, a wall being on this side and a wall on that side. And when the ass saw the angel of the Lord, she thrust herself onto the wall and crushed Balaam's foot against the wall, and he smote her again. And the angel of the Lord went further and stood in a narrow place where was no way to turn either to the right hand or to the left. And also these animals, they have a version of spiritual power. They have ultimate discernment, especially dogs. Okay, it'll be certain people that come around, my house, like, pest people or, whatever, maintenance men. And some of them, my dog, he'll be all right with. But for, especially man, he'll try, his damnness to get to him by any means. Okay? And I don't punish him for it, but I understand, okay, that these dogs do have a higher level of discernment. Okay, especially when it comes to, certain spirits. And you can see it right here. This dog, this donkey or this ass recognized that there was an angel. He was able to see an angel in the way, standing in the way, when Balaam wasn't cognizant of it, or he couldn't see that angel. Okay, so that's how you can tell right there that certain animals have certain spiritual powers given unto them from the Lord. Now you got certain birds that they know when storms coming, tornadoes coming. Okay, shit, man. Just to name a few. All right. So yeah, and the angel of the Lord, Salakia. Yeah, here it is. And when the ass saw the angel of the Lord, she fell down under Balaam, and Balaam's anger was kindled, and he smote the ass with a staff. And the Lord, Yahweh, opened the mouth of the ass, and she said unto Balaam, what have I done unto thee that thou hast smitten me these 3 times? And Balaam said unto the ass, because thou hast mocked me. I would there were a sword in my hand, for now I would kill thee. And the ass said unto Balaam, am not I thine ass, upon which thou hast ridden ever since I was dying unto this day? Was I ever want to do so unto thee? And he said, nay. So hey, that ass checked him. The Spirit of the Lord got upon that ass and was like, hey, man, what I ever did to you, like why's your wrath kindled against me? I ain't been nothing but, loyal to you. All right. Then the Lord opened the eyes of Balaam, and he saw the angel of the Lord standing in the way, and his sword drawn in his hand, and he bowed down his head and fell flat on his face. And the angel of the Lord said unto him, wherefore hast thou smitten thine ass these 3 times? Behold, I went out to withstand thee, because thy way is perverse before me. And the ass saw me and turned from me these 3 times. Unless she had turned from me, surely now also I had slain thee and saved her alive. See, so that donkey basically saved his life. Okay. And Balaam said unto the angels of the Lord, I have sinned, for I knew not that thou stoodest in the way against me. Now, therefore, if it displease me, I will get me back again. And the angel of the Lord said unto Balaam, go with the men, but only the word that I shall speak unto thee, that thou shalt speak. So Balaam went with the princes of Balak. So there you go. All right, and that's a beautiful account of how the Lord uses animal. He can use anything, okay, to do his will, man. All right. He can raise up stones to the sons of Abraham. So we're not even really needed. So that's why you really gotta, appreciate your lot in this truth, all right, and go hard with it. All right. And Jeremiah 15 and 3. And I will appoint over them for a con, saith the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, the sword to slay, and the dogs to tear, and the fowls of the heaven, and the beasts of the earth to devour and destroy. So there you go. All right. The Lord said he's going to use the beast of the field, the beast of the earth to devour and destroy. And you people, y'all don't even know, man. All right. I always use this example, but a pit bull, a very ferocious, tenacious animal. All right, around 60, 70 pounds. But most people are scared of them before they're scared of a German Shepherd, a Rottweiler, like these big dogs, because these big dogs, their temperament, they really don't mess with you unless like they're untrained or they're super aggressive. If they're decently trained, then they only respond when provoked. But these animals, all right, these pit bulls, especially an untrained one, hey, they'll attack you just off jump, man. They even went as far to you hear about a lot of attacks that are done on their own owners, man. Okay, this crazy dog just wants to keep barking while I'm doing a lesson on animals, but it's cool though, man. But yeah, so and that's the spirit that the Lord put on these animals, and that's just right now. Just imagine when the Lord really is well, He's always in control, but when He puts these spirits on these animals to extract judgment, and that's a far, because the Lord, the angel, or the spirit of the Lord is going to be on these certain angels or these certain animals to do what they do. Okay, so hey, the Lord can have it where a pit bull attacks with the ferociousness and a damn bite force of a damn jaguar or a lion. I mean, and you got lions and jaguars in these zoos, okay? And the zoos are really, fucked up as well, man. Okay, you shouldn't be, having an animal in an enclosure, especially animals that like to roam. All right, but hey, the Lord is gonna pay back all that on their heads, man. All right, Job 5:23. 22. At destruction and famine thou shalt laugh, neither shalt thou be afraid of the beasts of the earth. For thou shalt be in league with the stones of the field, and the beasts of the field shall be at peace with thee. So you want to be at peace with the animals. And how do you do that? You have to, you know, first of all, be an elect, because the elect had in hand with creation. Certain of his brothers, Lord willing, created certain or help create certain animals, or know how to yeah. Yeah, and that's why a lot of brothers, especially brothers in the faith, have affinity for animals, man. And I'm gonna end it with this one. This is the Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 11 and verse 18. Salaki, verse 17. For the almighty hand that made the world of matter without form wanted not means to send among them a multitude of bears or fierce lions. And when you look up bears, hey, just ask Joe Rogan, man. But bears, man, oh man, especially a she bear, like the elder brought up that the account of Alicia and them two she bears that ripped 42 children apart, man. All right, them she bears probably had cubs around, you know, because it says she bears. The Lord could have did because it's a different level of ferocity in these female bears when their cubs around. When they have to, their instincts is to kill, to and disarm, okay, what is it? Decapacitate, whatever, basically to stop them, immobilize them. All right, you got chimpanzees that their minds, when they're very vindictive, and there's been stories of chimpanzees. That's why I would never go around chimpanzees, even if they had a handler. All right, because we're not even supposed to be around them in their natural. And if they was in their natural habitat, Jake would not be around no damn chimpanzees or no fucking whatever. But chimpanzees, they don't look to kill. They're very vindictive, and what they will do, they will maim you, keep you alive, but make sure you're suffering. Like they rip apart, they rip off genitals, they rip off, they gouge out eyes, they bite off faces, they rip off fingers. They just want to just mess you up, man, and have you live it to where you can think about it every day, and that's crazy. But anyway, Yeah, the Lord is gonna introduce newly created beasts, man. All right, Wisdom of Solomon 11:17. For thy almighty hand that made the world of matter without form, when it not means to send among them a multitude of bears or fierce lions or unknown wild beasts, full of rage. All right, newly created, breathing out either a fiery vapor or filthy scents of scattered smoke or shooting horrible sparkles out of their eyes, whereof not only the harm might dispatch them at once, but also the terrible sight utterly destroy them. So the Lord, man, hey, His ways are above our ways, just as the heavens are above the earth. So as His ways are above our ways. Like the Lord has some far out animals that He made you. Okay, so He knows exactly what to create, and if you would see it, it would totally rewire your brain. It's instant psychosis. All right, and that's what a lot of people are gonna experience. But the elect are set apart because what they have the Ruach they have the Holy Spirit, and the Lord is not going to allow them to freak out when the Lord unleashes these things on the earth pretty soon. So I'm gonna end it with that. Lord willing, it was edifying, giving our praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rachahakwadash. Double honors due to the apostles, the bishops, and the elders of Great Millstone, and peace, blessings, and safety to the Lord's elect. Shalom.